Here's my ranking of all of the Jurassic movies. Spoiler alert, there can be spoilers for each of the Jurassic movies in this video. The first time I watched Jurassic World, I liked it because it was quite entertaining and it was cool to see dinosaurs back on screen. Also, Indominus Rex is a fun monster and I kind of liked the main characters. But then on second watch, the cool to see the dinosaurs back on screen factor just goes away and you're confronted with all the negative stuff. The dinosaurs don't really act like animals, they act like monsters that eat humans. And also all dinosaurs were rather bad CGI, which makes you feel like they're not real. So when the characters go face to face with dinosaurs, you always know what's real and what's not. That was different in the old Jurassic Park movies, because there they also used a lot of practical effects. The story wasn't very interesting and this movie's far too long. So overall a 2 out of 5.
Don't move. Bigger. Why do they always have to go bigger?
Now let's come to another rather unpopular opinion, and I think this one would probably be the last place for most people, but it isn't for me, and that's out of a specific reason. Because it was the first time I've ever watched a movie in 4DX. So every time I watch this movie, which has been twice so far, I'm just reminded of that experience. So I can't really let that go. And also there's so much fan service and not everything works in there. But I can't say I didn't enjoy seeing the old cast back again in a new Jurassic movie. But then if we look at it a bit more objectively, we just have to go to the story to see this isn't a good movie. It kind of has a James Bond-esque plot, which really doesn't belong into a Jurassic Park movie. And the main plot point isn't even about dinosaurs, it's about massive locusts. Also, the characters are not interesting and just don't have any depth. And there's some real bad CGI in here as well. So overall, it's just not a good movie by any means, but it entertained me and I just have a cool memory of it. So that's why it's a 2.5 out of 5. To be honest, I kind of like this movie, even though it does have some stupid stuff. I mean, the retcons the original Jurassic Park movie, which just isn't cool. They just make up a partner of John Hammond, which was never the plan. Also, not enough Jeff Goldblum. I mean, the marketing was all about Jeff Goldblum coming back, but he's like there for literally 5 minutes. Also, the plot is just stupid. I mean, they're making an auction with dinosaurs and holding them all in one basement of a house. Also, the twist bad guy, which everyone knew from the start, is also uninteresting. But there is stuff I liked, and that's why it's on number 4. For instance, it does have some of the nicest visual ideas we had in the Jurassic World franchise. Like, I mean, just the Indoraptor with its little imperfections. It is in a much darker tone in the second half, which I liked. But one of the main reasons this is the best Jurassic World movie for me is because the dinosaurs feel real a lot more often, because they extensively use practical effects, even though they did use a lot of CGI. So overall, not a good movie, but definitely better than the other two. 2.5 to 3 out of 5. Jurassic Park 3 is definitely the weakest of the Jurassic Park trilogy, but it also has some cool stuff. I mean, the practical Spinosaurus effects are just great. Also, I like the plot, because even though it's pretty standard, it just gets the job done, and it is very entertaining, because it's just like survive on an island. I just liked seeing Alan Grant back in a new dino movie that's nice and short with just 90 minutes of runtime with credits. Some of my negatives though are, I mean, the characters were really annoying. The CGI wasn't very good. And I mean, let's just talk about the absolute misfire of a jump scare that was the scene where a raptor was speaking to Alan Grant on a plane. I mean, that's just... who makes that stuff up? So overall, it's still a 3 out of 5 for me. Now let's first come to the negative of the Jurassic Park sequel, because some of the CGI wasn't that great. Also, the end with the T-Rex coming to America was a bit much, and the in-game guys were basically all stupid idiots, but there is great directing of Steven Spielberg. Also, there are a lot of practical effects, and it's a different story than the original, which is also something weird to see in a sequel. And there are a lot of cool action set pieces, so overall, a 3.5 out of 5. A really good movie.
Boy, no, I hate being right all the time.
Jurassic Park was the first Jurassic movie I watched, and I mean, it's just great. It's just a masterclass in how to make an interesting story. There's just a ton of great looking visual effects, especially practical effects. CGI is great as well, even though some shots do just look outdated by today's standards. Also, we have interesting characters with some depth. I mean, Dr. Alan Grant is just very interesting. He's basically like Indiana Jones if he was realistic and interested in dinosaurs. Also, overall, I mean, the message we get at the end from dinosaurs isn't that they are monsters, it's just that they're animals and they just act like animals. And I mean, all of those monologues of Jeff Goldblum are one of the highlights of this movie. The only small thing I don't really like of this movie is that some of the character moments didn't really catch me. So that's the only thing I wasn't really a fan of. A really great movie with one small flaw, 4.5 out of 5. So to check out why Dune's visual effects are so great and flawless, click here. That's been it. Thanks for watching. Bye.